As soon as the film story begins, we see a bad doll getting cured in the hands of a strange iron. Here, a little girl Coraline is given the same doll by her mom, which we had seen getting cured in strange hands. The doll was the same as her face, but there were buttons in her eyes. And a stranger had sent this doll as a gift for Coraline. That girl had come to a house 150 years old with her mom and dad. Her dad tells her, "This is a very old house, you see it. You will definitely find something interesting in it." Doing all this, she really finds a small hidden door in her house, which when she opens with the help of her mom, the door is closed from inside. But as soon as night falls, that door opens with magic, and some rats come out of it, which take Coraline inside that door. And as soon as she went inside, she was seeing a new world, like her own world, where there was another house like Coraline's house. In that house, a woman like Coraline's mom, whose eyes were buttons, was cooking food for her, which her real mom would probably do sometime. And in the same way, the button-eyed Coraline's dad was playing the piano for her. This strange world was just like her dream world, where she wanted her mom and dad's love and their time, where all her wishes were getting fulfilled. She was getting her mom and dad's love. She was getting tasty food, but she was very worried about her eyes. She tells the button-eyed woman that you can't be my mom, for which she gets the answer that she is her other parents. Coraline falls asleep, after which her mom takes her to the room, which was very beautiful compared to her real world. Before sleeping, she gives the medicine of her energy to Coraline, and when she wakes up in the morning, she finds herself in her real world. She was starting to consider everything that was happening to her as her dream, but after seeing her hand's energy getting cured, she realized that whatever happened to her was real. Now she tells her mom and dad about everything that happened in the night, and she thinks that it was her dream, after which she goes to her neighbor for some work. A man is hanging from the roof and asks her, "Did you see a small door in your house? Did you go inside it?" She thinks about it and tells him that the door is closed. That man tells her that there is a lot of danger for you, and you should take care of yourself. When she goes to the other house, two women talk to her, and read her future time in the coffee cup, and tell her that you have to prepare yourself for the dangers of the future. This was bothering Coraline, because two people had told her to stay away from danger. On the way home, someone starts following her, and she catches him cleverly, but he was her neighbor's son, who was telling her not to go to her neighbor's house, saying that my teeth never let me go to their house, because she thinks that these women had made her sister disappear, and it is her job to make the children disappear. At night, Coraline keeps cheese on her door, so that the rats come to her room, and she can go back to the magical world by following them, because she liked that world a lot. When the button-eyed woman tells her to call her dad from the garden, she was surprised as soon as she stepped into the garden, where the birds show her the way, and when she goes ahead, all the flowers start blooming. Some people used to play with Coraline. Not only this, when she goes upstairs and sees the garden was exactly like her face. And this is what she gets from her neighbor's son. But the strange thing was that her face was stitched along with the button in her eyes. The next day, when she was coming back to this world, a cat sees her and comes with her. And after seeing all this, Coraline says in distress, that you are getting stuck in their hell. All this will end in 2 days. Not everything you see is real, Coraline. During these talks, the button-eyed woman sends Coraline to see the circus, where the circus was her real-world neighbor. At the beginning of the story, the man who was hanging upside down shows Coraline the rat dance, and the pink ladies dance themselves. When she comes back to the magical world, the cat tells her that Coraline, you are doing very wrong. You are going to be in danger. She catches a rat to make her understand. When the rat was caught, it changed into a strange creature. Then she calls Coraline the button-eyed woman, who tells her that if you want to always be with us in this beautiful world, then you will have to put a button in your eyes. Now everything was open to Coraline, so she knew that she could not easily refuse to put a button. So now she tells her that I am sleepy, and I will sleep now and put this button in the morning. When she goes to the room, she tells her everything there, and asks her where are your buttons, on which she scolds everyone and says that I will get out of here. Intention. She was not even sleepy, she says to herself, and finally after this attempt, she went to sleep. But when she woke up in the morning, she was not at home as she always used to be. She quickly thinks of going out of that small door, from which she used to come here all the time. But the button-eyed woman tells her to hold her here and put a button. And on the refusal of Coraline, she imprisons her in the dark world, where she met many children like her, who were imprisoned in the greed of all these things. She tells her that after putting the button, that woman ate us and imprisoned our soul here. At the same place, she meets her neighbor boy, whose face was stitched. When he opens his mouth, he tells her the truth, and with his help she goes to her house. But there was a big problem that her mom and dad were also missing from the house, and they were certainly imprisoned by the button-eyed woman. In this problem, she asks for help from her neighbor, who gives her a glass from 100-year-old candy, for which she had gone to the magical world again to take her parents. And going there, that button-eyed woman, who had now come in her real form, Coraline tells her that you play a game with me. If I win, then I will take all the children's souls, with my mom and dad from here. The game is that you have to give me some signs to find them. And if I lose, then you put a button in my eyes. That woman had agreed, but by cheating, she had given only one sign to Coraline instead of 3 signs. Coraline had to find everyone's eyes, but she did not know where and how. She goes to the garden first, which was now a beautiful garden. With the help of her glass, she had found one eye. And here she tells her that you have found me, but still you have to find 2 more eyes. Coraline says, do not worry, I will do this work very easily. And after all this, she goes to the pink lady's house. In the magical world, which was a strange creature, and she had an eye in her hand. As soon as she takes it, the pink lady catches her, but she also cleverly hits her light on the roof, and calls the guards there and attacks the pink lady, and runs away from there herself and reaches the circus man to take the 3rd eye. Now she takes the 3rd eye from the circus man, and when she was coming to the magical world, she was seeing the shadow of the button on the moon, which was completed, and the world began to break. And with this she had known that her mission time was complete. On returning, the button-eyed woman asks Coraline that yes, tell me, is your hobby complete? Would you like to put this button in your eyes? On which Coraline says, no, I have found the eyes. Hearing this, the button-eyed woman was very surprised. She asks Coraline for the eyes, but Coraline was also very clever. Before giving her the eyes, she says, come on, first open the door outside, then I will show you. Here Coraline's cat had also found her mom and dad, whom this button-eyed woman had imprisoned in a mirror. Coraline was going to attack that woman with a cat, and take her mom and dad from here by deceit. As a result of her deceit, that woman imprisons her in her web, which was difficult for her to get out of. But she does not give up and brings her mom and dad home, and breaks the mirror in which they were imprisoned. Finally, Coraline had won. She had saved her mom and dad. In this whole mission, she was very tired, so she goes to sleep and puts those eyes under her pillow. As soon as she sees, her roof becomes bright. The souls of the children she had set free. She was saying thanks here. But then in the morning she gets all those broken eyes, which means that the danger is not gone, because now she had the key to enter that magical world. And now when she went out of the house, her hand was following the hand that we saw at the start of the movie, fixing the doll. Actually, this hand was of the same woman. That Coraline's friend comes and breaks it, and they both together drop that broken hand and key in a pit. That is, the story of that magical world was now closed forever. And at the end of the story, all her neighbors and everyone in the garden of Coraline were putting flowers together and having fun. Coraline and the little boy were good friends,